My friend, welcome to the world's best kept secret podcast, the podcast that shows spiritual entrepreneurs how to clarify their message and then how to turn that clarity into revenue. I'm your host, Prima Jope, a mentor and message expert since 2020. Whether you seek to simply clarify your message or feel ready to monetize your brilliance, this is your safe space for actionable guidance and practical tools on how to turn your wool into predictable revenue. Let's get started, shall we? Being of service does not mean staying broke. What I'm going to break down in this call is why I truly and honestly believe that monetization is a spiritual practice. We'll talk about money impact, and the number one thing that I believe spiritual entrepreneurs get wrong about monetization. If you're watching on the replay, let me know that you're watching on the replay. I would love to know. If you're catching this from YouTube, drop YouTube. If you're catching this from a podcast episode, drop podcast. Welcome, and let's dive into it. This particular conversation was inspired by a few conversations I've had in this week that have really brought up some strong opinions for me about money, service, and what it means to be in alignment as a spiritual entrepreneur. The big question really is, which I want us to unpack in this conversation, is, can you lead with service and unapologetically make money? And is focusing on monetization really spiritual? There's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of things I have personally heard from clients and people I've spoken to, and I feel like I've been in the weeds enough to talk about this subject. I also believe that my actual spiritual gift is helping others monetize their gifts. So this topic is very dear to my heart, and I'm going to do everything I can to share my own take, my own experiences about this subject. And if it helps you, amazing. There's so much truth. What I find is there's so much truth around leading with money. People leading with 10K months or 100K months or 1 million, whatever the promise is. There's a lot of truth when it comes to really just monetizing people's troubles, which I think is very gross. But there's also a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to actually what it means to getting paid for your gift. So the thing that we do not want is you getting lost in denial. People get tripped up thinking wanting money means you're less spiritual. But let me tell you something that I believe. Money is not the problem. Money is not the root cause of whatever the feeling is. Attachment to money is. When you have the breath for money, when you're just doing everything for the money, when you're like, I need the next client, and then I need the next client, and I need 10K and all of those things, people will feel the breath. I call it sales breath. People will feel the breath and they will not buy. But I do not think that wanting to get paid for your skills, for your gifts, is the issue here. I think the issue here is when you give control to the desire to be compensated and lead with that. Wanting to be paid for your services does not make you any less spiritual, and it does not make you any less of a person that is interested in service, if that makes sense. So the thing that I want you to understand is service and sales are not opposites. In fact, I am willing to bet that if you're here to serve, then you're doing the world a disservice by not figuring out how to get paid for your gifts. If you're here to serve people, I am willing to broadly say that you're doing the world a disservice by accepting to stay the best kept secret today and not figuring out the marketing and sales pieces. Because if you do not figure out these pieces, there is no way that you can reach more people. Let's face it, ads cost money. Hosting information on platforms like, I don't know what platform you use, Kajabi, Wix, or whatever the platform, costs money. Platforms now ask for money to like show your things to more people. Retreats cost money. Your time costs money. Running a business costs money. Everything costs money. So I will say this again, that if you're here to serve, you're doing the world a disservice by staying poor, by staying broke, but not figuring out the monetization bit. And let's talk about this monetization thing, because really monetization is my spiritual gift. I live and breathe every day to help people figure out how to turn their gifts into revenue. Because if you can do that, then impact is the name of the game you're playing. I want to talk about why chasing 10K months feels a bit gross. Doesn't feel gross to me, but I can understand that it feels gross to most people. And I want to attempt and explain to you why it shouldn't, or why it doesn't have to. What I understand, or what in my experience of being in the thousands and thousands of hours in the weeds is, it's not the goal that is the problem. It's the energy that is the issue here. Having 10K months, wanting 10K months, wanting 100K months is not the actual problem. The actual problem is the energy behind it. If you're leading with money because you're desperate, people feel that. If you're leading with money because it allows you to serve deeper, that's alignment. And people feel that. When I wake up every day and market and sell and create an episode, a podcast episode, and create a Facebook Live and create a post, I am creating those things because I need to educate people why they're stuck where they're stuck. And I am doing that from a place of love, from a place of service. And your energy is really all that matters, because people can feel that. Monetization to me is energy in motion. It's a symbol of value exchange. I honestly believe that monetization is a symbol of value exchange. The problem isn't that people want money. The problem is that people haven't figured out how to tie impact to income in a way that feels good to them. Here's my take. If you want to serve, you need to get paid. You need to get compensated for the service. Not because it's greedy, but because it's sustainable and it allows you to even serve more people. When you're getting enough people paying you, then you can create more things for free. Right now, I'm not charging for this training. I'm not charging for this call because, well, I have enough people paying me that I can afford to pay subscriptions to places where it will be hosted. I can afford to pay Buzzsprout every month for whatever the rest of my life to have this pushed out to more people. But if you want to serve, you need to get paid, because free service, free help, free advice does not create the impact that you're after. I'm putting this here, and someone will go, it's free, and therefore I won't watch it. Another person will watch it and say, I'll get to it. And maybe 1 out of 1,000 people will take action on it. But if you want to create real impact, you need to get paid. When you get paid, then you can have the ability to do more things for free. You can give to charity. You can get on YouTube and put a lot of stuff for free. But if you're extending your time, then I do not think that there is a problem with wanting to be compensated. The problem I find is when people pretend they don't need the clients and they don't need the payment and they don't need the money. I don't trust the person who says, I don't want the money, I don't want the clients, I'm here for the service. Because true service is being able to own the part where you need to get compensated, because things cost money. And if you're going to run on the gas of service, which, don't get me wrong, is the gas I run on, and you forget the gas of monetization, you honestly will run out of gas. You won't be here 5 years later if no one pays you. So instead of playing the hide and seek game with monetization, what I like to tell my clients is you can own the fact that you want to serve people, but you can also own the fact that you want to be compensated for it. I want to explain to you something which I find to be a very big connection between people paying you and you being able to impact their life. From years of doing this, people only pay deep attention when they pay with their energy. And in our world, energy is often money. The credit card is an energetic exchange of attention. When someone buys from you, they're not just buying a product. They're saying yes themselves. They're saying, I am determined to solving this problem. They're saying, I am going to prioritize this thing right now. They're saying, I am ready to change my life. They're saying, I am ready to put in the work. That's why the deepest way to create a deep impact on someone is to help them have skin in the game. It is to help you exchange their attention with a form of energy that you can both measure. And right now, in the world where we live, credit cards is a very good way of someone saying, I am determined to changing my life. I'll give you my own story. I've countless stories from clients, but I will give you my own story. When I was new to business in 2020, I wasn't new to business, but I was new to online business. I had about 7 clients. Well, I don't know if they were clients because they were not paying me, but I had about 7 people I was helping. I spent hours and hours in Zoom rooms. People didn't show up for their calls. People didn't do the work. I had more excuses than I could count. I was busy being busy and I had no results at all. And what I was teaching worked, but people were not doing the work. People were getting the information. They're like, I'll go through it. And then they were getting distracted by other things. And then they were going to free challenges. And then they were here and there and there. And they were like, Prima, I don't have time. I'm busy and all of those things. Every time we went in a Zoom room, I had more excuses than questions about things that are not working or things that are working. And I was stuck in this, I want to save the world. I was like in this Jesus mode, if I can say that. And my goal was to just serve and serve and serve and serve. But nobody's life was being transformed. I was inspiring people. I was motivating people, but I wasn't changing anyone's life. And then in 2020, my mom got COVID. And I was broke like a joke. I didn't have any money to help her. And when I say I didn't have any money, I didn't have even $50 to save my mom. I was serving people that were not getting results. And it is then that I understood that I needed to figure out how to get paid. Because what use was what I was doing if I couldn't use it to save my mom? What use was any impact to anyone if I couldn't stop my mom from dying? So when I had no choice but to monetize, then I had to work my things around money, things around monetization, things around wanting to be compensated for the skill that I had. I had to work those issues out. At 72 hours later, I got $2,000. I saved my mom. And that's how I built the 2K client system, which you're welcome to check out when you go to the 2kclientsystem.com. If you're watching this on social media, it will be somewhere in the bios or I will post it in the comment section. But it wasn't until my mom was dying that I had to figure out how to turn my gifts into income and how to unapologetically serve and get paid in the same vessel. I started to charge, and what was very interesting is that the month I started to charge, people started to get results. People who were coming in as paid clients started to get results. And as I charged more and charged more and charged more, people's results grew. At one point, people started getting from 0 to 6 figures. But when I could go back and trace the person who's gotten the 6 figures, I could trace back to how much they invested. So the more people invested, the more they took this seriously, the more they did the work, the more they saw the results. I can list countless examples of this with my clients, but dodging the monetization bit, and wanting to think that you will serve and everything will go to the ethers and the right people will come, in my opinion, is avoidance behavior. And I know that I'll get backlash from this, but it is avoidance behavior. You can serve and you can get paid. And the highest form of service that you can give anyone is help them make an energetic exchange with their credit card so you have their full attention to change their life. Let's talk about marketing. Let's talk about sales, because there's a lot of connection with service, getting paid, marketing, sales, and everything in between. People think marketing is about pushing a product. And maybe some people push products. But as someone who leads with service, as someone that considers myself a spiritual entrepreneur, as someone that does healing work for people, as somebody that is determined to help people get paid for their gifts, I disagree. I think marketing is about coaching your audience to realize why they're stuck in a certain place. Marketing is not just saying, come buy my thing. Marketing is your ability to unpack the point where people are so they realize why they're stuck. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is a problem I solve. This is why I think you're stuck in this situation. And this is my philosophy around solving that problem. That's marketing. This is a problem you have. This is who I serve. This is the reason why I believe you haven't been able to solve your problem. And this is my philosophy around solving this problem. And this is why it works when nothing else has worked. That's marketing 101. What's the problem you solve? Who do you solve it for? Why haven't they been able to solve their problem? And what's your unique philosophy in answering the question, why haven't I gotten a solution? That's marketing. Marketing is not you saying, buy my stuff. Marketing is you coaching someone to understand why they are stuck in a place that they don't understand. Sales is part of coaching. Sales is you helping someone make a decision. I found that the hardest bit for most people is taking a stand on their life and saying, I want to do this thing. I want to change my life. I'm going to step into this place, which I don't know, which is unfamiliar, and I do not even know what the result will be, but I'm determined right now to leave my comfort zone and move into this place where I can possibly change my life. That's sales, helping someone make a decision. When I'm involved in a sales conversation with someone, I used to do sales calls. Now I don't, just out of choice. But I don't particularly see anything wrong with sales calls. I generally don't attack mechanisms. If you have the right person in the room, I don't think it matters how you sell, or just sell however you want to sell. But when I am involved in a sales conversation, my goal is one, help you get out of your own way and make a decision. Now, that decision can be yes, let's work together. It can also be no, I'm not going to do that, but I want you to make a decision. Most people get stuck in the indecisiveness. They get stuck in, I'll think about it tomorrow. I'll think about it the other day. I'll probably start next year. Year's resolution, you have a resolution, and then now it's Feb, coming to March, and you have no idea where those resolutions went. So when I am in a sales conversation, I have one goal. And that goal is to help you make a decision. Now, that decision can be yes, let's move forward, but it can also be no. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to take things off the table and allow you to make a decision. And the more decisions you make, the more you get aware of your decisions. The most dangerous decision that someone can make is being indecisive. So marketing, to me, is coaching people through the reasons why they haven't been able to solve their problem. And sales is helping them make a decision. Whether that decision is to work with you or not work with you, or work with anybody, really. For me, when I have a sales conversation with someone, I want to install in them the belief that they need to make a decision. It doesn't matter if they are talking to me or they are talking to another mentor or they are talking to another consultant. Make decisions. Because whether you like it or not, you're making decisions every day. And the most dangerous decision is indecisiveness. So for the time that I have a chance to be with you or talk to you, I'm kind of going to push your buttons and force you to make a decision. Because that will help you when you meet another person. Make a decision. Yes, it's fine. No, it's fine. You don't have to buy anything. But you have to make a decision in life. So finally, what I would say is getting paid isn't about you. At least that's my belief. Getting paid is about helping people have skin in the game. Because when people pay you, they pay attention. And when they pay attention, they get the breakthrough that they want. And that's what you want. Figuring out this piece really is not figuring out the piece of helping people meet you in the middle, I believe is disservice to people. So if you are service-led, if you're a heart-centered entrepreneur, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, if you believe that you're here to serve, then monetization, I believe, owning the fact that you deserve to be compensated for your gifts is the ultimate highest form of service. Now, you're welcome to disagree, but that's really my strongest, that's where my strongest foot is. And anyone who shies away from the fact that they love to be paid, I don't trust them personally. Because if you don't like to be paid for your services, then why are you in business? You could just wake up and create everything into a video and put it on YouTube, and you never have to do anything else, and people somehow will find it. You could just wake up and write books and put them out there, hopefully for free, and people will pick them up. Why are you trying to build a business? So if you sit there thinking, I want to make money, but I don't want to feel gross about it, then you're the kind of person that I exist to help. My spiritual gift is helping people get paid for their expertise. Helping people get so clear on what they do that they cannot be misunderstood. Helping people move from being a best-kept secret to someone that can create clients on demand. Because how much you can serve people depends on your ability to create clients on demand. The more clients you serve, the more money you make. The more money you make, the more impact you make. The more impact you make, the more impact you can make. The more money you make, the more free stuff you can build for people. If you're getting paid enough, it means you can afford to do more stuff for free for other people. But being broke is really not serving anybody. Staying a best-kept secret is really not serving anybody. So I wanted to show up and really talk to you with love and challenge you to rethink how you see monetization, how you see getting paid, and your connection between that and what you believe your identity is as either spiritual entrepreneur, heart-centered entrepreneur, whatever the type of entrepreneur you think you are. But what I do find is that you can get paid in a way that really feels like service. Again, if you would like to know what I do, I've created the 2K client system, and that system is a stress-free system for signing clients on demand, even though you're the best-kept secret today. And you can do this without pressure, without convincing, without manipulating anybody. You can do this without getting out of your own integrity. If you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, social media, check my bio. You might find the link there. And if it's not there, check in the comment section of wherever you're watching from. If you're watching this on any of the podcast platforms, simply check the show notes. There should be a link to the 2K client system. If you'd like to just type it in, just type the 2K client system.com. I also have a community on school. It's called The Best Kept Secret. And I really talk about how to sign clients without convincing, manipulation, chasing, and without pressure. Since school is free, You access all of my IPs while inside there. You can start for free. You can start for $10. You can start for $50, all the way up. Remember, you didn't come here to be the world's best kept secret. You came here to serve. And for me, what that means is living in a state of overflow so that I can serve more, give more, and love more. I highly doubt that I can do my work so much longer if no one hires me for the next 3 years. I highly doubt that most people will still be here, will still be in business 3 years from today if they do not own the fact that they need clients and they need to get paid for their services, if they do not find the link between service and monetization. That's all I have for you today. Get paid, get visible, make the impact you're here for, and I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you for joining this conversation on the World's Best Kept Secret podcast today. If you feel ready to stop keeping your work a secret, head over to primajope.com and request a free conversation. Until next time, please remember that there's no prize in keeping your work a secret.